Hello, welcome back to Ticker News. I'm William Howard, and for more, it's a pleasure to bring in International Affairs Director at the Australia Institute, Allan Behm. Allan, thanks for your time today.
Good morning, William.
It's hard to even begin to imagine the planning that went into this visit. Why was it such a priority for the Biden administration?
Look, I think President Biden and the United States are delivering a very, very clear message to President Putin and to Russia that they can't trample all over Ukraine and expect that Ukraine is simply going to be left defenceless. Ukraine matters to the security of the whole of Europe, and so the President, by visiting President Zelensky, has made it very clear to everybody that Ukraine matters and the United States will back it to the hilt.
Allan, Biden announced an additional aid package worth around $460 million. It'll include more military equipment and weapons. In the face of Russia's offensive, what difference do you think this will make?
Look, this helps Ukraine, first of all, survive the battle. This is an ongoing battle. It's a year old now. And I think that the point of the continued fighting is to push the war to a point of negotiation so that there can be a settlement. So what it's clearly saying is that Russia is not going to win this and that Ukraine is not going to lose it. So if Russia wants to have a stalemate going on for years, that is what it is looking at. So the aid that's being provided by the Americans and by the rest of the Europeans and by countries such as Australia is designed to get both sides to the negotiating table. And I think that that will be successful.
Okay, well, let's talk about that negotiation. The US has determined Russia has committed war crimes, the EU announcing its 10th round of sanctions. Do you actually think Russia will back down? There's already a lot on the table here, Allan.
That's correct. Look, it's less a question, William, of Russia backing down than it is of Russia confronting reality. Backing down, of course, means that there's a loss of face and everybody says, well, Ukraine has won and Russia's lost. That's not the way in which the diplomacy will be conducted. To bring both sides to the table, both of them have got to understand that fundamentally the safety of the people who live in eastern Ukraine, but particularly in Luhansk and Donbass, is the primary consideration, and their ability to live, and I mean to live, in reasonable circumstances, which of course is not in bombed out buildings. So the way to bring them to the negotiating table is not to sort of play muscle games, but to play proper brain games and to think through the end point and then to get there. And that means bringing the issue to effectively a stalemate so that both sides see that there is no benefit in continuing to fight.
Okay, let's turn back to the US president for a moment. He's facing internal criticism for not giving enough attention to domestic issues. Do you think this is warranted?
No. Look, I think Biden has been the most successful president since LBJ, frankly. If you look at his legislative record through the Congress, it is extremely impressive. He's got health bills, he's got post-COVID reconstruction bills, he's got extraordinary number of very expensive, $3.5 trillion worth of new investment across the United States in social policy, in infrastructure and economic policy. He is very far from being a lame president. In fact, I think it is fair to compare him not only with LBJ, who was very successful, but even with FDR in the range of things that he's managed to succeed in doing in what is now a difficult Congress, but one which I think Biden has all the skills to be able to manage.
Allan Behm, always great to chat to you. Thanks for your analysis today. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, William.